Hello and welcome to The Flip Side, where we talk about the news behind the headlines. I'm Lauren Strapagill, news editor for Canada.com.
And my name is Alyssa Freeman, Canada.com columnist, PR specialist, and on vacation from the shores of Georgian Bay. But here for the flip side with you, Lauren.
So glad, I'm a little jealous, but I'm glad you've joined me.
Okay, I'm trying to cover up my tan, not to make you too jealous. First story that we have, actor from Glee, Corey Monteith, made headlines because of his drug overdose. Why does a story of a celebrity take over the headlines from worldwide media? What is it behind you as a news editor? Why does it behoove you to put that on the front page?
Well, and I'll start off by saying that Monteith's death was the biggest story probably of the month for us, maybe even more than that. It got a lot of hits, a lot of readers. And, I think a lot of people who aren't fans of the show might be saying, why are you spending so much time talking about the death of a celebrity? I think the fact is when a young person dies, seemingly in the peak of their career, people really kind of shocks them and they take interest. And so even though I'm not personally one for celebrity news, I can understand why people get swept up in this sort of thing.
I agree. I think the other interesting point about this is, who do we feel sorry for? Do we feel sorry for Finn, the character on Glee, a really lovable guy who was dating the top star on the show, or do we feel sorry for the man? And I think that people would give pause when they would consider that type of question, because when I think about it, I think about what a great character he was. I have no idea what Corey Monteith is like. I mean, I've read about his very troubled past as a youth, but really, I kind of feel more sorry for the character because that is the persona I know. Corey Monteith, the person, I do not know. So I think that as a news editor, it's interesting because, yes, it is a young person who has died, who's on a popular TV show, but who do we really feel sorry for?
Yeah, I mean, by all accounts, sounds like he was a pretty good guy in life, but he clearly had some problems. And I expect this story is not going to die down anytime soon either. And speaking of stories that are blowing up this week, Rolling Stone decided to run accused Boston bomber Johar Tsarnaev on their cover, and this has created a storm. The backlash has been just incredible. And now, I personally actually I'm not that upset about it. They used a rather glamorous photo of him, and I can see why that has rubbed some people the wrong way. But the story itself, I've read, and I think it's fascinating. It delves into looking into how he grew up, how this could have possibly happened. What's your take on it, Alyssa?
You know what? I'm going to go on the side of Rolling Stone with this one. And this is likely a very unpopular view, maybe with many of our viewers and also many of our readers. But I will say that if journalism's job is meant to sanitize and agree with what everybody they think is thinking, then what is the point of journalism? I don't need to read something that is always going to jive with my opinion. Journalism's job is meant to provoke. That magazine cover provoked that, and they even did sort of a side-by-side comparison. One of the articles I read about Jim Morrison compared to the way that they portrayed Tsarnaev, and really that's where the uproar laid. The uproar was the artistic treatment they gave to Tsarnaev, making him look more like a rock star. Well, the story behind the story is that as soon as he was arrested, there were legions of teenage girls who thought that Tsarnaev was very cute, and you read on social media that he couldn't possibly be the Boston bomber, and he already had this sort of very strange fan base. So Rolling Stone basically only built on that. Maybe that's not a well-known fact, but as far as I'm concerned, I thought it was really pushing the envelope. Maybe people felt that they pushed it too far, but I don't have a problem with the Rolling Stone article at all.
You know what? Neither do I. And I mean, it's jarring, but also someone grew up in allegedly committing an act like that is also jarring. And I encourage people, even if you don't want to buy the magazine, go read the story online. I think it's worth your time.
Listen, all the people who say they're going to boycott Rolling Stone, they don't buy it, okay? They'll just say, I'll never buy that magazine again. Oh, okay, great. Well, maybe if you've never bought it, if you've never bought it before, that would make sense. So I think that this is a small uproar. I don't think this is going to damage Rolling Stone's reputation. They did all the right things that their communications council told them to do. They did put it out a statement saying that they are sorry, that if it did upset people. But really, I just think, like I said, journalism's job is meant to provoke, and that's exactly what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for our last story, we have the very, very bad decision of juror B37 of the recent Trayvon Martin trial, who was going to put out a book and had already inked a book deal, and then suddenly, over a Twitter uproar, decided maybe that's not a good idea. Lauren, what do you think?
In a word, I would call it tacky. Very, very tacky. That juror, she actually said she was sequestered and didn't realize what an uproar this whole case had caused, which I think is just such a lie. I mean, she knew what she was doing. That's why she was trying to get a book deal. And just trying to capitalize on such a tragedy is just, again, tacky. Bad move.
Well, I think that there's 2 points here. One is, okay, is it right to strike when the iron is hot? Yes, but not when it's such a contentious trial that basically has America divided. So if half of America is divided and there's going to be visuals and there's going to be rallies against the decision of this trial, how popular do you think you're going to be if you say that you're inking a book deal and you were one of the jurors that set Zimmerman free? Bad, bad idea.
Bad idea indeed. And you know what? She has the benefit of being anonymous. I would take that and run with it at this point.
I would say she should walk around with maybe a black bar over her eyes and not reveal herself for a long, long time. And I think that unfortunately for her, there will be people and news media that will delve in and try to reveal who she is, and that's not going to really work in her favor either.
Yeah, I think now's the time to keep her head down where it belongs. All right. I think that's it for this week. Good talking to you, Alyssa. Enjoy your vacation.
I will, and see you next week, Lauren, on the flip side.